Bro, you're putting yourself in a position that you don't need to be. Why are you getting involved just for clout? You want to work with these damn influencers. Bro, stop it. It's not funny. You're messing with something very serious. And now there's even more confusion and more smoke and mirrors. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Very happy to be here today and excited because I wasn't fooled.
What?
Now, I originally didn't think I would be making a video about this, but I figured I would hop on this trend.
What?
Trend. I meant trend. I figured I would hop on this trend because, well, honestly, I feel like it's important now for me to try to do something to correct the misinformation that Greg and Hussein Farhat have been propagating on the internet. Yesterday, at the time of making this video, Hussein and Greg, well, Greg left a comment on Scott Herman Fitness's channel. Sorry, guys, I literally just woke up. Literally, no joke. Left a comment on his channel, and he basically said Hussein is going to be coming out. He's going to be having a coming out party on his YouTube channel, putting out a video talking about how he's been lying the whole time about being on gear.
We're coming clean. I don't know how else to start off this video. This was a really hard one to do, honestly, which is why I have Greg here with me to help me, navigate this.
And how Greg had nothing to do with it. Greg didn't know and all this stuff. As soon as I saw this on Scott's channel, I knew it was all a scam. I knew it was a lie. They would not do this. Why would they not do this? The reason why is because Greg's company and Greg's name would be totally shattered if that ever happened, okay? So when Hussein came out with his video, I turned it on for about 2 seconds just so I could leave a comment in order to tell them that I'm not watching the video, that I'm downliking the video, because I already know that it's not true. But in those 2 seconds, I got to see the beginning of the video.
We're coming clean. I don't know how else to start off this video. This was a really hard one to do, honestly, which is why I have Greg here with me to help me, navigate this.
And if you take a look at the beginning of the video, you'll see why my speculation of it being fake ended up turning out to be true. Take a look at Greg's face right here. He is literally fighting to hold back a smile. I've been watching Greg for years now. Look at his face. He is fighting from showing that he wants to laugh. Now, I watched Greg's response video to that video.
The video where Hussein said he was a fake natural, that he'd actually been on performance-enhancing drugs for the first 16 months. They'd done 300 milligrams of test, 300 milligrams of Deca, and 300 milligrams of EQ. That, on top of that, he had done 50 milligrams of Anavar and 50 milligrams of MK677. And so the world reacted.
And I left a comment on it, basically telling Greg my personal opinion, that what he did, what Hussein did, and what he did was it was wrong. Why? Why was that wrong? I genuinely believe, like Greg said in his response video, that it was a joke. I genuinely believe that they thought it would be funny. Why? Because you can see Greg holding back from laughing. It's not easy to see. They were not serious. They were fighting from holding back from laughing. That's what I saw in the first 2 seconds of the video. But why was it irresponsible? It was irresponsible because now people are going to clip farm that video. I knew it was a joke when it was on Scott Herman's channel. But I didn't realize how many people didn't know that it was a joke. I started going onto other people's channels, looking at the comments. So many people saying, I knew it the whole time. He's finally coming out. He's telling the world. He's been lying. Yo, people fell for it so freaking fast. It's ridiculous. And that shows me just how big of a topic this actually is. I mean, I made a couple of videos just recently talking about Julian, talking about Hussein, and I knew it was a big topic, but honestly, I didn't know it was this big of a topic where people are like jumping at the chance to be like, I was right, he was on drugs the whole time. Guys, you gotta know that at this point, he ain't coming out of the closet. There's too much on the line. There's too much at stake. And in my opinion, do I blame Hussein for this stunt that they pulled? I don't. I blame Greg. Why? Greg is actually quite intelligent. Despite the fact that he's been acting the way that he's been acting lately, Greg is quite intelligent. He has common sense. He thinks before he acts most of the time. And so Hussein is a less developed mind than Greg. Hussein is going along with what Greg says. That's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But I do believe that this was the responsibility of Greg not to do. Okay? If you guys want to claim natural, claim natural. I don't care. Out of all the videos I've ever made, I've never said that Hussein or Julian or anybody was not natural. I never said it. Why? I can't prove it, but I can tell you what I think. I can give you my thoughts. When you gain 50 pounds in like a year, that's very sus. Okay? That's not normal. But can I say that this was 100% a scam? I can't. So that's why I don't say that. Okay? It's not my place to say. You guys can let me know in the comments what you think. We're all allowed to our opinions, and we're all allowed to, our thoughts, and we can post those thoughts online. But I do know what it's like to receive fake natty accusations. For many years that I was on YouTube, take a look at my earlier videos. I went from like 300 pounds down to 145 pounds ripped, and people were like, you're on drugs, and they're speculating and all this other stuff. So I was not on drugs. I was not on drugs. So the fact that I got all that attention was amazing. Sure, it was great. It was a huge compliment. But at the same time, it was inaccurate information. So I know what it's like. But anyway, what Greg did, in my opinion, with Hussein was absolutely irresponsible, because now people are so misinformed, more so than they were before. People were already going around. People are talking about Julian having a myostatin deficiency. Like, what do you think? He's a cow? Calm down, guys. You don't have any proof of it. You don't have any proof. I don't blame people for propagating that myth because they've heard it from somewhere. But someone made up the rumor in the first place. And so now you got rumors where the whole world thinks that Hussein came out, and then only a portion of them know that it's a joke. And now there's a whole bunch of misinformation, and there's a whole bunch of hype. And yeah, sure, it's going to be a lot more money for Greg and Hussein because of the YouTube algorithm and stuff like that. But also, beyond that, I do believe that Greg and Hussein are literally digging themselves into like an unstoppable pit of just untrust at this point. People didn't trust them already. And now they put out a lie, and then they put out a video lying, and then saying that they lied, exposing themselves for lying, continuing with the fact that Hussein is natural. Guys, what are you doing? I get that it could have been a joke. Greg saying he thought it was a joke, he thought it would be funny, he's giving the people what they want. I can see that. But at the same time, while you have that inclination to do something like that, you have to fight it. I can't imagine any fitness influencer who takes their job seriously actually saying for a second that they're not natural if they're natural. I can't, because that means you don't take your job seriously. That means you don't take your reputation seriously. That's my opinion. Hussein, if he is natural, never should have said what he said, because even though other people it's in the space that people don't believe him, you saying that is not taking your natty status seriously. And a lot of people take that very seriously for good reason, especially when you have people peddling supplements, peddling training plans. When you take a look at Hussein's, when you take a look at Hussein's history on the internet, when you really break it down, he doesn't have too much training history. Why? Well, he's only been training for like 3 years, right? When you take a look at his videos, they're actually kind of few and far between. Maybe he's made more collabs, but when you take a look at somebody like Julian, for example, I went specifically looking for Julian's training videos the other day. You hardly find any videos with him training. You don't find videos of him before. You don't find videos of him during him becoming a monstrosity. You don't find them. As far as I know, they don't exist. So unless I'm missing them, guys, send them to me. Send them to me. And also, if you got anything you want me to cover, send them to me in the comments or in my Instagram DMs. My Instagram info is in the description box. But you don't find a history on these people. When you don't find a good solid foundation, a good solid history showing what you were before, what you look like in the middle, and what you look like now, that is highly sus. I've been on YouTube. You can see me from when I was fat, like 6 years ago, cutting down all the way to 145 pounds and pretty much everything in between. I did take a little break from YouTube for quite a while, but it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, you saw the results happen. So that's why I think that this was completely, this wasn't a good move on Greg and Hussein. They misled a whole bunch of people. And now there's a whole bunch more confusion about all this stuff where really there shouldn't be any confusion anyway. Guys, we don't know if this guy took drugs. We don't know. Yes, we can speculate, and we will speculate. We have the right to do so. But at the end of the day, this is what he's claiming, and until someone blows up the scene with like an exposed video with evidence, we just don't know. We can't say for sure anything. You know what I'm saying? So that's my opinion. That's my thoughts. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. This has been crazy. I got to get to the gym now because I actually have to earn my fitness. But not to say no one else does, but you get what I'm saying. You all get what I'm saying. Anyway, I don't think this was a good move on Greg. I don't think this was a good move on Hussein. I think it makes the entire industry look like crap. Jeff looks like crap. Jeff Nippard, who went out on a limb to protect Hussein, to try to say that he was natural. Jeff left an apology on his YouTube channel telling people, I'm so sorry, I really genuinely thought he was natural. I feel bad for Jeff at this point. I put a video out recently saying that, you know, Jeff is kind of like doing the wrong thing and getting involved with stuff that he shouldn't be getting involved in, which is true. He shouldn't be getting involved with it. If he didn't get involved, he would have put out an apology exposing himself. I mean, imagine if it was real. Imagine if it was real, Jeff. You would have completely, I mean, you've already lost your credibility. And there's not even any evidence of what you're saying being wrong. Sure, you got some horrible science-backed information on growing muscle. Horrible. But, bro, you're putting yourself in a position that you don't need to be. You're already famous. You're already rich. You already got an app. You already got books. Why are you getting involved just for clout? You want to work with these damn influencers just for clout. Bro, stop it. You don't need it, Jeff. You don't need it. Okay? So anyway, you guys let me know what you think in the comments. I felt like I had to make this video because it's like, I've done some stupid things in the past. Sometimes you do things and you say things and you don't think. And maybe this was one of those things. This video that Greg and Hussein made. Maybe it's one of those things. But guys, it's not funny. You're messing with something very serious. You have a whole bunch of kids who look up to Hussein, to Julian, things of that nature, to the younger people in the fitness industry. You have a whole bunch of kids who look up to them. And now there's even more confusion and more smoke and mirrors. Not everybody is going to see that this was a joke. There's going to be a lot of confused people. I went on a video the other day and the comment was like, guys, I don't know what's happening with Hussein. I don't have time to watch all these videos. Can someone break it down for me? Not everybody has the time or the inclination to follow everything, but at the same time, one photograph can influence somebody's complete mindset. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Look forward to seeing you in some more videos. I'll catch you guys later.
You know, it's time to put in the work. That's where I kind of specialize, and I just lock in and just do what I need to do and more. You know what I mean?
Come on, Julian. We're going to work on your strength. It's only 22 pounds.
Perfect.